before anyone answers, I pose this to those that are listening to comment below. Who do you think the current Democrat frontrunner is? And I'll give you 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, and it's Kamala Harris. The frontrunner for the Democratic nomination on Predict It is Kamala Harris, not Joe Biden, the sitting president. But it makes sense. Joe Biden has called her the president, I think 5 times.
He has.
He's repeatedly called her the president. And maybe it's because that's what they're planning for. But right now, the prediction markets believe Kamala Harris will be the Democratic nominee.
And they always called it the Biden-Harris administration from day one. They made a very salient point about that. It was never the Obama-Biden administration. It was never the Trump
Yeah, exactly. Who was George Bush's VP? I don't know. It was Cheney.
I thought you were doing a bit.
No. We
totally forgot. Trump Pence, but it was always Biden-Harris. They made a very deliberate effort to say Biden-Harris administration for that reason.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they tried to always keep her as much. It was weird. They tried to keep her in the spotlight and also off to the side. She's the one out on the campaign trail, but not the campaign trail on this national abortion tour. They were sort of like, yeah, we'll make it up as we go along. Yeah, go to a clinic. We'll see what happens.
Can we start referring to Gavin Newsom as Count Chocula? Because that was one of our viewers who super chatted that, and he really does remind me of Count Chocula.
Yeah.
Or is it?
He needs to get a tan though.
Is it just because he reminds people of a vampire?
He is vampire-esque. He's got super big white teeth.
He's gonna get like the 23-year-old female vote over that.
Yeah.
He looked thinner and more
vampires.
gaunt than before at this last at the debate. Did you guys notice that at all compared to like 3 or 4 years ago?
Biden?
No, Newsom. He's kind of thin and a little more gaunt, like kind of more skeletal than he was before.
Is he transferring his life force into
is-
Biden to keep him going?
Ruining a state burns a lot of calories, so he's got, he's probably losing a lot of weight. I mean, I think part of this is Kamala Harris is, yes, maybe the front runner, or she's the name that has emerged. But it's like when you don't go grocery shopping and you have to just kind of make a meal out of what is left over. I mean, she's not the person you're racing out the door to vote for. And that's bad for the base. I also think that there is no way Kamala Harris handles the Israel-Palestine thing better than Biden. And this is another internal division in the Democratic Party where she's just not going to be able to capture the vote that they need. So I think, yes, maybe she is emerging as like the alternative, but it's not because she has earned it on her own merit. It's not because people feel inspired by her. It's because she's there when apparently everything else is falling apart.
I was looking for a good metaphor. I like the leftover groceries metaphor. That's all you got in the house. Got to boil some carrots.
You just have to deal with it at that point.
That was my question is, it's the Biden-Harris campaign. So everything Biden did with Israel, with the economy, how does that not reflect poorly on Kamala? So
it does.
I mean, maybe they don't care about that. Maybe it's just anybody but Joe right now. But if you're the Gen Z Democrats right now, I don't know. I mean, they're not irrational people, but how do you rationally vote for Kamala? She was right there, a part of it all.
And the reason why Biden was brought on to the Obama administration, the Biden ticket back in 2008, was that there was a hesitancy of the party establishment that there are still a lot of old white guys who are Democrats who don't want to elect a black president. But they like Joe Biden and they know him. And so you know what? Maybe that will assuage any race
already
concerns.
elect a black president?
This is
This was to make Biden
Oh, okay.
to make
I thought you meant last
Obama
cycle.
to make Obama back in 2008 to make Obama more palatable. They're going to have the same problem with Kamala Harris. They're going to say there's a lot of old white Democrats who don't want to elect a black woman who is obsessed talking about race and gender.
Michelle Obama too.
Same problem.
So a lot of people have this idea like, oh, Michelle Obama, she'll win easily. And I'm like, nah, I think she'll be a better contender than Biden. She'd probably poll slightly higher and has a good chance of beating Trump. But Democrats are racist. And I'm not saying it to be cute. That Yale study about how white people talk down to black people, there's going to be a lot of white older Democrats who are going to be like, well, I mean, I'm all for diversity, but and they'll make an excuse for it.
Well, Biden himself, right? I mean, I believe in my heart that black kids are just as smart as what was the line he said?
He said
poor kids are just as smart as white kids.
What he said, black kids are just as smart as he said poor kids. What does he say? What's the quote? Let's pull the quote
Something
up.
about getting on the internet too.
Rich kids are just as smart as black kids or something
Poor
like that.
Poor kids are just as bright as white kids.
Yeah, there you go. So they have, you're right, they do have an entrenched racism in their party. And they're going to have a huge problem with Kamala Harris, who is obsessed with race and gender issues. That's all she talks about.
Here's the fascinating thing. Republicans don't get this, because they're overwhelmingly not racist. So when they hear Michelle Obama, they go, "Uh-oh, she's charismatic and she can give Trump a run for his money." I'm like, guys, calm down. Democrats are racist. They're like, they don't see the world the way you do. Republicans are looking at Michelle Obama as a charismatic celebrity personality who can win. Yeah. But I assure you, a bunch of these young Berkeley Democrats are going to be like, "Oh, that's so nice, but she won't know where the DMV is."
Yeah. Exactly. And again, go back to Kamala Harris running for the primary in 2019 before COVID changed the world, right? When it was summer of 2019. She was at the Iowa State Fair, and then she would be asked, "Oh, we're going to have to regulate cheeseburgers because of climate change," and she'd laugh. And she'd say, "We should have a conversation on that," right? Whenever Kamala Harris doesn't want to answer a question, she says, "We should have a conversation on that." Her polling numbers were so bad that she had to drop out before the California primary because she was going to get destroyed. She had literally no delegates after months of campaigning. Why do they think that she suddenly has national appeal? Yes, she is the sitting vice president. I'll acknowledge it. But to this idea that suddenly if she becomes the top of the ticket, Democrats are going to rally around Kamala Harris. They didn't rally around her last time. Eric Yang and Pete Buttigieg did better than Kamala Harris, right? Yeah. So, I mean, if they really want to save the ticket.
Andrew Yang. Andrew Yang, is that who you meant?
Who's Eric Yang?
I don't know. I know
Andrew Yang.
Andrew Yang.
Andrew Yang.
If they really want to save the ticket, I got to tell you, they should put Bernie Sanders there.
They should.
I think one of the issues is that if there's a power vacuum, yes, we on the outside all know Kamala Harris's name, and she seems hypothetically like the heir apparent because she's vice president. But internally, there has to be, like you're mentioning, Pete Buttigieg or any other top-ranking Democrat that's like, "No, I should be president."
Yeah.
Any governor that has, enough delegates to really have influence at the DNC, which is not that far away, must be thinking to themselves, "I have to say I'm with Biden, but if Biden's not there, I should get a shot at this.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be Kamala. I work hard and I deserve this," and et cetera, et cetera. I mean, why would they go along with some sort of vague overarching plan from the DNC, so to speak, when really this is an opportunity for anyone to step in and say, "I'm the leadership now"?
The superdelegates, because they have no chance in getting the nominee unless they're selected.
But there's only like 75 of them.
Superdelegates?
Yeah.
It's a small group that's going to select the next candidate. So no matter how ambitious someone is, it's only Obama was like the last ambitious Democrat.
I agree with you. Maybe there are some superdelegates that could influence it, but the governors themselves come with delegates. So if you're from a state that has a lot of delegates, I mean, you could theoretically have an influence enough to maybe sway a superdelegate or enough of them to support you. I mean, that's the thing about having an open DNC right now, which is like you get to really expose the influence that the DNC have over its members. And I actually think it's not as strict and structured as we think it is. I think that there would be a lot more infighting. And in some ways, I think it would be a more interesting convention probably than even the RNC, because you would get to see all of these people vie for as much influence as they can rally in basically 6 weeks?
Yeah. It's just funny that the number one criteria in selecting your vice president is that this person should be able to fill in for me in case I can no longer do the job. The one criteria Kamala Harris has to meet, she has not met. Right? They selected her because of myriad reasons, but they did not select her because she could step in as president. And that's the problem they're having now. And how many news stories have there been about the enormous resignations at her staff?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't know. Have there been?
She can't keep staff to save her life because she's, rumor has it, a horrible person to be around and to work with. Her chiefs of staffs have resigned. Her comms teams have resigned. Who wants to, and you mentioned people like Pete Buttigieg or Gina Raimondo or all these cabinet secretaries. They're not going to take orders from Kamala Harris. They probably dislike her. So I just think it's funny in this world of diversity and equity and inclusion and all of that. The only criteria that mattered for VP is the one that she does not meet. She checks all the other boxes, right? But she is not capable of doing the job. Proof of that is the fact that they want to get rid of Biden and they don't know who to give the job to.
And that they made her the border czar. Like the second they made her the border czar, I was like, okay, so you hate this person.
Yeah.
You guys don't want her to thrive. And at the time, I thought of it as Biden viewing Harris as maybe a potential threat, right? They want her to have something very difficult. Should she, at the time he was sort of pretending like he was going to be a one-term president. And when they made her the border czar, I felt like it was giving her something difficult to have to explain when she inevitably runs for president, right? Because, the border is a very partisan issue, and she is bad at it, so she could never win. She could never win Republicans. And also, if you do anything to try to control illegal immigration, especially more extreme members of your own party will be like, "You're a terrible racist. How could you do this?"
And this that's what Biden did also to. I'm sorry, that's what Obama did to Biden. He didn't want to deal with Biden. He was like, go cure cancer, right? That was what they did. I'm going to put Joe Biden in charge of solving the cancer problem. Because even Obama was like, I don't want to deal with this moron. So they gave Kamala a job like that. You go take care of the border. Let us do our job.
Right. You go take care of the border, which is impossible for you to do for a number of reasons. We're not going to give you any support. Also, if you make any restrictions, you'll isolate your own base. Also, if you don't deal with it, crime will get out of control and you're at the fault of, you are culpable for a lot of issues we have in America. Also, now leave again, go talk about abortion, get out of here.
Talk about anything. It's just...
They have her around, but they don't want her there.
No, and she talks about anything and she just is nails on the chalkboard.
I know.
She's so distracting, like Tim trying to kill flies.
Tim slaughtering it. He's chasing this one down right now. Oh, nice. Did you get it? He's about to get it, though.
This is the new Olympic sport.
You got to keep in mind, we're about to select our military commander. So, Kamala is obviously not the person for it. Who would be capable of commanding the military?
Oh, and it's gigantic, too.
Are we being invaded?
Got it. You had... Oh, damn.
Maybe it's not...
That one didn't die either. That was creepy.
We're adding a new level to IRL. Not only do we have to respond to topical news things, but we also have to avoid getting hit by flies and/or an electrified fly swatter.
Maybe it's not organic. Maybe it's a little drone.
CIA.
We're literally being bugged.
Like the people who don't believe in birds. Have you seen all that?
Capacitor.
You hear that?
Yeah.
Did it break?
I don't care for that at all.
No, it's a taser.
The people who don't believe in
Tasing
birds.
flies up
We need
in
a
here.
passive
Happy
swat.
July 4th,
Here it is.
everybody.
It's coming around. It's coming around.
He's a little slower than the other one.
It's because you've been swatting.
I hope everybody who's listening to this audio only is having the time of their lives right now.
Exactly. Exactly.
I feel like
Man, the holidays here.
This is as chaotic as trying to find the new president of the United States.
What
This
they're
is
doing.
exactly
this
what
is
it's
what
like.
the DNC meetings are like right now.
Biden's up on a chair with a racket trying to hit.
As the governors,
He swings at a fly in a chair and falls down.
as the governors are all gathered in the Oval Office, and Joe is there with a tennis racket, chasing, running around the room. There's a fly in here. Yes, Mr. President. There's a fly in here.
Daniel, if you're running Joe Biden's campaign right now, how do you handle the next couple days? Because typically, with July 4th, it is with Independence Day. There's all kind of celebrations that the president has to attend. Right? Do you keep him public or do you try and hide him?
No, I think you make him visibly public. You don't let him speak to people. I would do the big White House event tomorrow that they always have, the barbecue that is for friends and family and senators and their family. I would do that. I would do everything public possible with as little speaking as necessary. And I would start calling. If I'm the campaign manager, I am calling Democrat power brokers, and I tell them to get in line or prepare to deal with the consequences.
What do you mean? Oh, I think I know what you mean. Get in line.
Get in line. This is the president, and if I hear another rumor that you are tipping off a newspaper or the 25 members of Congress who have hinted that they're going to write a letter, 2 already did, call for Biden to resign. Supposedly there are 25 more who are going to.
Oh, wow.
That's it. Your campaign is done, right? We're pulling all DCCC money from your campaign. That's how you start dealing with this.
I hope there's a wide shot of Tim right now, by the way.
I'm trying to get him
slaughtering
on the
this
cam.
fly.
Stuck inside it.
I thought he
Didn't die.
There is the room cam.
He landed on the actual thing and bounced off and kept going.
Does it not work?
It's an agile animal.
I gotta get him.
Yeah.
He's hard. It's hard to get him. I think I got him.
Nice.
Don't break the sign.
Behind.
Yeah, he's hiding. He can run, but he can't hide forever.
I'd be able to.
Jeez. Oh, he's out. He's out. He's to your right. He's to the other curtain now.
Yeah.
Got him.
Oh, beautiful.
You have to come back like George.
That was Timcast.
Gained 10 experience for that, dude.
It was.
No, you're too high level to have gained any experience for that attack.
Whoa.
Yeah.
He looked huge. He looked like he was this
I
big.
tased him. sparks were like shooting around his body like lightning.
His difficulty was only
So,
gray, though,
It's
dude.
4th
I
of
just
July.
pulled Joe
All right,
Biden's
it's been
schedule for
14 minutes.
Who's number 3?
hold Joe Biden's schedule for a minute. So he is doing the event tomorrow. He's going to have a barbecue with active duty military service members and their families, and then, do whatever on the 4th of July. And then he's going to Wilmington, Delaware this weekend, which he spends most weekends in Delaware. But it is interesting because I feel like going back to his home, it's going to be this moment where either his family is like, you got to keep going, or if Tom Fitton is right and there is some sort of conversation, maybe it will happen there that he is like, we got to stop.
And the joys of going to your own home is that you don't have to keep visitors logs. So who he meets with and the calls he has don't have to be logged. The bigger problem that if I am Biden's team right now is that he's supposed to go to NATO next week. And that's
He's so tired.
That's gonna be bad.
Where are they meeting?
Right? Where is the next NATO meeting? It's back in Europe, and I don't know if it's at the headquarters, but he's got to be back on stage with these world leaders, and they are watching the news.
Oh, no, it's in D.C.
Oh, it's here locally.
Yeah, July 9th to 11th. So that's good.
So at least he can sleep in his own bed. But still, he's got to be on stage with world leaders who are asking serious questions and having deep conversations, and he's got to try to stay awake.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.